What if I told you that in 2025, we're going back to the moon? But this time, we're not just going to visit, we're planning to stay. Over 50 years ago, on July 20th, 1969, Neil Armstrong took that famous first step, the first step on the moon. It was a giant leap for mankind, one that inspired generations. But that journey was just the beginning. Today, we're standing at the edge of a new era. NASA's Artemis program is about to make history. This time, we're not just aiming to set foot on the lunar surface, we're planning to build something far bigger. We're aiming for a sustainable presence on the moon that will change the future of space exploration. Think back to the technology of the 1960s. Computers were massive, and missions were calculated with slide rules. Despite that, we reached the moon. But now, technology has advanced at an incredible pace. We have AI, reusable rockets, and partnerships with companies like SpaceX that are rewriting the rules of space travel. The possibilities are endless. But why are we going back? What's the point of returning to the moon when we've already been there? The answer is simple. The moon holds the key to our future in space. Its vast resources, especially water ice, can be transformed into fuel, air, and water. The Artemis program plans to use these resources to create a gateway, a launching point for deeper exploration into our solar system. Imagine this: astronauts living on the moon, building a permanent base, testing the technology that will one day take us to Mars and beyond. The lunar surface is our testing ground, and its importance cannot be overstated. And let's not forget, the Artemis program is not just about NASA. It's a global effort involving international space agencies and private companies. The next great space race is here, and the moon is the finish line. This is a mission for all of humanity. But how did we get here? How did we go from Apollo 11 to Artemis? The Apollo program paved the way with its groundbreaking achievements. It showed us that humans could leave Earth and survive the harshness of space. Those missions laid the foundation, but the Artemis program is about building on that foundation. This time, we're aiming higher. The first Artemis mission will be uncrewed, but it will be the first test of the new Orion spacecraft and the massive space launch system. These are the spacecraft that will one day carry humans back to the moon. And when Artemis II launches, it will take humans around the moon for the first time since 1972. Imagine that, humans returning to the moon after 50 years, and that's just the beginning. Artemis III is where the real magic happens. This mission will land astronauts on the moon's South Pole, a region never explored by humans before. Why the South Pole? Because it's rich in water ice, a resource that will allow us to live and work on the moon. And this time, the goal isn't just to explore, it's to stay. NASA plans to establish a sustainable lunar base where astronauts will live for weeks at a time. They'll conduct experiments, gather resources, and test the technology that will one day take us to Mars. This is the next giant leap, and it's happening in our lifetime. Now picture this, a world where trips to the moon are routine, a world where we use lunar resources to fuel missions to Mars, a world where humanity is no longer bound by Earth, but is exploring the far reaches of our solar system and beyond. It sounds like science fiction, but it's happening right now. With each Artemis mission, we'll be taking steps toward that future. We'll be building the infrastructure that will make space exploration sustainable and routine. This isn't just a return to the moon, it's the start of something much bigger. So, what does the future hold? The ultimate goal of the Artemis program isn't just the moon, it's Mars. The moon is our stepping stone to the red planet, and the lessons we learn on the lunar surface will prepare us for that monumental journey. Mars is the next frontier, and the Artemis program will give us the tools we need to make that journey a reality. We're talking about missions that will take humans beyond Earth, beyond the moon, and into the vast unknown. This is humanity's future, and it starts on the moon. Think about it for a second. What will it be like when the first humans set foot on Mars? What discoveries will we make? What will it mean for us as a species? The Artemis program is the first step toward answering those questions. And that step begins now. But the impact of Artemis goes far beyond space exploration. The technologies developed for this program will have profound effects right here on Earth, from advances in communication and energy production to breakthroughs in medicine and material science. The benefits of space exploration touch every aspect of our lives. And let's not forget the inspiration factor. Just as the Apollo missions sparked a generation of scientists, engineers, and dreamers, Artemis will ignite the imaginations of young people around the world. Who knows what innovations and discoveries will come from the minds of those inspired by our return to the moon? The Artemis program is also breaking new ground in terms of diversity and inclusion. NASA has committed to landing the first woman and the first person of color on the moon as part of these missions. This isn't just about representation. It's about harnessing the full potential of human ingenuity and perspective as we tackle the challenges of space exploration. As we look to the stars, we're also gaining a new perspective on our own planet. The view of Earth from the moon, that fragile blue marble suspended in the vastness of space, changed how we think about our home. As we establish a permanent presence on the moon, how will our view of Earth and our responsibility to it evolve? The challenges ahead are immense. We'll need to develop new technologies to protect astronauts from radiation, to grow food in lunar soil, to extract and use lunar resources efficiently. We'll need to learn how to live and work in the harsh lunar environment for extended periods. Each of these challenges represents an opportunity for innovation that could change life on Earth as well as in space. And as we push further into space, we'll be asking profound questions about our place in the universe. Are we alone? What is the nature of life? How did our solar system form? And what can that tell us about other star systems? The moon will be our observatory, our laboratory, our launching pad for seeking answers to these fundamental questions. The moon is no longer the limit. It's just the beginning. This is more than just a space program. It's a bold statement about human potential, about our capacity to dream big and achieve the impossible. It's about pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible and redefining our limits as a species. Every time we look up at the moon, we'll know that there are humans living and working there. We'll know that we're witnessing the early days of humanity's expansion into the cosmos, and we'll know that we're part of something truly historic. So, will you be watching when we make history again? Because this isn't just NASA's mission. It's not just America's mission. It's humanity's mission, and every one of us has a stake in its success. The future is calling, and it starts with a return to the moon. But this time, we're going further. This time, we're reaching for the stars. Are you ready for the next giant leap?